Welcome to the second arc of the Lair of Secret Cyberpunk Red actual play campaign. When last we met, all the edgerunners need to do is flip a switch, and they make 40,000 Eurobucks. The problem? The switch is on the third sublevel of the ruined Elysium Aerospace corporate headquarters in the radioactive core of Night City. Bigger problem? Orged out glow boys blew up their ride, and they're stranded in front of the headquarters. Even bigger problem? Cybernetically enhanced Corvids are flocking inside the building. They saw the fight, and now they want fresh meat and chrome. So you stand outside of the Elysium HQ. You can see spray painted in front of the building is the words "Beware." The broken remains of the glow boys, having killed them in the firefight, lay near you. Your car's on fire and upside down, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. After being
squiggly
shot
red
with
lines
a grenade.
fire.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you know what? When you've got a bored out glow boy with a rocket launcher, or with a grenade launcher, you should use it. So where do you go from here, guys?
Are the birds still up along the over the entrance to the building? Are they flocking up there, or did they fly inside? I wasn't quite sure.
It's like kind of flying in and out.
Okay.
Right? The glass front of the corporate building is not entirely intact, so they come and go. And as they do so, they're kind of like flitting, and you hear one will go, "Fresh meat, chrome," and then like a cacophony / cadence starts to erupt as they start overlapping one another. They seem very excited, but they are not advancing towards you. They're just excited. They're like, call it like 20 feet up, like the upper level of the. They're not at street level, like right in front of you. They're kind of like imagine big glass windows opening onto an atrium. That's kind of like what you're looking at.
Okay.
Bob is gonna swing his camera up because it's one of those big chunky ones, because they haven't made small ones except for cybernetic implants yet. So that's on his list, and points it up at the crows. Starts recording, and kind of slowly, carefully stepping back to make his way around behind the non-burning car, and just actively narrating. All right, folks, we know that birds pretty much disappeared from the United States decades ago. Some have been slowly coming back. We had that kill off because of the avian flus. This is the most birds I have ever seen in my life, like in total, and they're all here right now. So we'll see how this goes. These talk, as you can hear.
Ken, is this guy still alive?
I don't believe anybody is alive.
Okay.
I believe all of the glow boys went down. I mean, I would just put a red X through him, but I believe that he is in fact dead.
Okay. Hey, Atlas, you still got that rocket launcher?
Let me double check. I still have the rocket launcher. The question is, do I have any more ammo?
It wasn't in the car, was it?
No, that's what I used to blow up the car, if I remember right.
Yes, the car is a little landed
the
on
glow
its
boys.
roof.
I do. I still have 2 shots left with it.
Oh, I've got
Yeah,
an
the
idea.
glow boys built. Hey, we might need to check on. We might need to check on Atlas. He did not blow up the car.
Oh, I was going to say, it shows I still have 2 out of 2.
It's been a while.
Right,
the glow boys shot a grenade into it.
Yes,
That's right.
While we were in it.
APT is walking up to join Omen and Edison, and I'm sorry, Angry Bob, chatting with Atlas, and pointing at the front of the building, saying, "Do you think we could use that as kind of a door opener to blow a hole so we could run inside?"
Oh, the doors are open.
The doors are open. I heard panes of glass, so I wasn't sure.
Above panes of glass. So like they're they're kind of.
I see. Okay, I got you.
Imagine your standard sort of corporate headquarters, right? There's like the concrete barricades in front that reinforced it because of the time of bread and all that, or the nukes downtown.
Okay,
but it's like you can just like this isn't exactly right because I didn't have the fancy new mapping software that I now have. But imagine it is a glass foyer moving into a larger corporate headquarters type thing.
Cool. So,
should we pile up these bodies and give the birds something to eat?
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking of getting a piece of one of these cars and holding it over my head when we run into the building.
That is
All probably good ideas.
so a good idea.
APT starts looking for a shield-sized piece of metal to be able to hold over her head.
Yeah, there's like trash can lids and
Yep,
like,
exactly. That's what I want, a Captain America shield. Exactly.
there you go.
So Bob's going to prop his camera up on this car, but I'm going to look over this car. Is this appear to be a functioning car, or is this a burned out car? I can't remember.
You have not assessed. It is not. It doesn't appear to be in great shape. Like, it doesn't have any tires. It's taken some bullet holes. It is not actively on fire, which is an improvement over your existing car.
So,
but it is
if
not
necessary.
in good
We
shape.
could drive on rims real slow, probably walk faster, but
Yeah, maybe if one of you, it's like it's in bad shape. Whether or not you could make it into somewhat functional shape would be something you'd have to figure out.
Okay. Bob is going to prop his camera up to kind of give a nice wide view of the Corvids, but also nearish where Omen is. Or no, actually nearish where the ganger with the red X is, the top one.
Okay.
And he's going to go over, I'm going to go over to the guy down here. Let's see, pointer. There we go. This guy down here, and just commence to dragging him over to this top one.
Okay, you do so. So
And
I'm going to
start
help out with that
start
effort.
pile that APT was talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to move. Okay, Atlas is moving the other one.
I was
All
gonna
righty.
say, I'll just grab the guy by the foot and just start walking him over to the
I think I
pile.
have to move the token, so I will. He's the biggest one. Like, he's pretty big and bulky, right? But he's a little lighter because he's lost a lot of blood.
Hey, what's in this area? I'm eyeballing it. I'm pinging it. If you can see.
I might have to zoom out to see what you're pinging. Hold on, because I like big maps. Can you ping again? Burned out ruins. Looks like it was some sort of like kiosk, sort of. What are they called? Bodegos? Is that what you call them?
What are
like the small
bodegos?
shops?
Okay.
Like-
Bodegos. Yeah.
Bodegos, yeah, like
But-
small like shop kind of thing. This might have been like a small corporate park, but it's all broken
Okay.
and in bad shape.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of look up and be like, birdies, food.
I'm gonna get some shielding for myself too.
Okay.
This building, I look at it. Is there a possibility for an underground garage for this? Like some corporate, hey,
from what you
park in our
know, the
building?
sub levels. From your research, you know that there were only like research sub levels. There wasn't a parking garage.
Alrighty. Well, it was a vain hope that this was one of those places that had a corporate parking garage for their employees.
That we wouldn't have to go in the front door that is lined with hungry Corvids looking for meat and chrome, and maybe go through the parking garage to enter. Is that what you were thinking? Because that's a great idea.
I was also hoping there was a car in there.
Also a great idea.
What about like around the corners? Can we check around the corners at all?
It's all just like additional corporate buildings, like adjacent. I didn't map it out. You see like more burned out cars, ruins. The rest of the exterior is more like this was like the front end is like the showcase, right? And
Right.
through the glass atrium, you can catch glimpses of sunlight flowing down inside, and it's all beautiful and wonderful. And then around the sides, it's like corporate heavy.
Brutalist
architecture. Yeah.
Okay. So the sides
Presumably
of the
there's
building.
service doors and what have you, but I don't have them. I don't have a map that I can pull out to that level.
No, that's fine. So the sides of the building are thick concrete, no glass. I'm going to take a little look. I'm trying to see if I can enter through the side of the building rather than the front of the building, and I'm willing to make holes to do so.
There's like there's like concrete So the rest of it, as it pulls around, it's like nicely stylized concrete as you're kind of coming around the sides of the building, and it's heavy, like it's obviously heavily reinforced concrete, and then there's service door entrances, which are massive slabs of metal, sort of thing, right? So it is possible to enter through the side doors.
Gonna point out the security door. Hey, shake and bake. What do you think about that security door with your launcher there?
He looks around. I don't have a security badge.
You have a security badge. You're wearing it on your back. It's called your rocket launcher. That pretty much breaks through a lot of security.
APT might be able to get into it without explosives too.
Oh, good point.
This is true. I was about to suggest maybe we saved the last couple of rockets.
Yeah, we only
Can you
brought
just
2.
break through that door?
It could be open. You never know.
Yeah.
We're not that lucky. It's not open.
But
All
we
right.
don't have clearance.
Okay. APT starts walking toward the security door to go. You just check it, kind of see what we've got going on here.
Okay, cool. So you were going to say something, David?
Yeah. While he's doing that, the gangers had weapons on them, correct?
They did.
I don't remember what they had. So I'm just gonna collect all of that over by this car and see if there's anything useful that we could take in with us.
We know one had a grenade launcher.
Well, that was internal cybernetic.
That was in his arm.
Oh.
I mean, we could take his arm if you wanted a grenade launcher for your arm.
Nah, it's okay. I've got enough stuff that I'm carrying. I'm going to sling the assault rifle onto my back and pull out my big old, like, my size metal pipe.
All right. So real quick. So also, Josh, you were saying you were calling out to the birds. Did you actually call out to the Corvids to offer them up the fresh meat?
Yeah. Atlas loves animals, so yeah, he's gonna call out to the birds and just say, "Food."
All right. Well, we'll come back to that in a second.
At the very least, we'll get them distracted for a little bit. Hopefully long enough for us to get through that security door.
All right. They are wearing leathers as far as armor, which is somewhat degraded. And they have poor quality pistols. Poor quality, very heavy pistol. On the two the one that's not the Cyber Psycho. And then I've noticed to myself that I should check the PDF for the stats of the Cyber Psycho. So now I just need to figure out where I put them.
Does anybody else have a very heavy pistol?
I do not. I just have a heavy pistol.
Yeah,
I
think
have
I
a
just
heavy pistol. Yeah, not a very heavy. Oh, no, I do have a very heavy pistol.
Can we search for some ammunition at the very least?
Hold on, one thing at a time. So there, Brickbrack, who was the Cyber Psycho you took out, had assault rifle, and a shotgun, and a really nice, like, heavy steel baseball bat. Like, it's in the form factor of a baseball bat, but you don't think anybody ever used this for baseball.
Oh, I do have a very heavy pistol. Sorry. It took me a while to find it.
I would say for the heavy pistol, each of them has 2 clips, and the assault rifle has 2 clips, and the shotgun has 6 slugs.
Dang, 2 clips for the assault rifle? That's like 50 bullets.
He went through a lot shooting at the Corvids.
Oh, true.
Can you, like, put that into the chat so we can divvy that up?
I'll
Let me write it down.
Thank you.
Because I apparently don't have any ammo on me, so I need to get some ammo of some kind.
You can take it all. I'm pretty full on ammo, actually. That was one of the things I made sure I stocked up on.
Can anyone else use a assault rifle?
Is that a very heavy weapon, or is that a different type?
That's a very...
Auto fire? Is that an
It's
auto fire?
It is an auto fire. It's auto fire 4, but it's a shoulder arms to shoot.
I mean, I can use these things, but I've only got, I think, 8s in them. I think that's a basic stat. I don't think that's very good.
Yeah. Very heavy weapon is, very heavy pistol is still handgun, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And then the baseball bat would be melee weapon.
All right, so going to the
So how
side
much-
door. Sorry, do we have any? Are you guys ready to go to the side door?
I am
Yes.
Yeah, I'm bundling all this stuff up in one of their jackets and carting it along with me so we can be out of the way of the Corvids as we decide if we're going to divvy it up.
Okay, so two things happen. Atlas calls out and says, "Fresh meat." 3 of the Corvids come down and flit onto the top of the non-burning car, and they say, "Meat inside, meat inside, chrome, chrome," and then they start like squawking at each other and like banging against each other's head and like nestling one another, and then like they stare at you intently and like flutter their wings to kind of drive home the point. They don't take any aggressive steps towards you, but they seem to be trying to convey what they would like you to do. Is anybody ducking around the side with APT?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go around with them.
Hey, Atlas, I think
Yeah.
they want us to move the bodies inside.
Oh, that's what they want.
And then as you start to walk away, like a couple of them drop down and like they swoop up off the car, and then like one of them lands in front of you and like puts his wings out and is like, "Inside, meat, inside."
Oh, you guys are so cute. I'm gonna walk over and start dragging the body.
Okay, so while you're doing
Dragging
that,
the man first.
what's Angry Bob doing while this like tableau is unfolding and APT and Omen are headed around the side of the building?
Filming Atlas dragging the bodies in and you know the Corvids' response to all of it.
APT goes around the side, followed by Omen, and then we'll come back to Atlas and the birds. So you find there's a heavy metal door, clearly hardened, so it's got some resistance to bullets, right? So it's clearly not just a steel door. It has been reinforced by some sort of like maybe carbon fiber or something on the outside, so people just can't like take an assault rifle and blast their way through it, or at least not right away. So it looks pretty sturdy. It might take a while to like actually blast your way through it, but who knows? You've never tried to use a rocket launcher to open a door. Maybe Atlas has, but there is electronic lock on it, and from what you can tell, and looking at it, it looks like a 20-year-old corporate lock. It has some sort of so it has a multi-factor. It looks like it has a it's looking for a keypad entry and perhaps a voice print.
Mm.
And there's like heavy plexiglass comes down in front of like the control. Like there's the panel, but it's behind like heavy plexiglass.
Okay. Well, I try the door first.
It is not open.
I just, it just. Okay. So there's no, there's no easy way, trying, jiggling, moving to get to the control panel.
No, you can make a basic tech. You can see that there's also a camera here located above the door.
Okay. And I'm assuming it's powered down, but I mean, maybe that's a big assumption. I look up at the camera and see, do we have a blinking light? Is there anything that shows power?
It looks badly damaged. The optics have been ripped out of it. It's kind of hanging on off its base.
Look up. Are there any windows up there?
Yes, the glass atrium windows continue like basically like 18 feet up. The concrete reinforced exterior gives way to the glass because maybe somebody would fly a flying car through it, but like they're more worried about ground incursions. You'd have to
18
scale
feet?
it, basically.
Yeah, I got a grappling gun. I'm willing to scale it.
There you go. But Chris, you're trying to. You could do
basically. I'm going to do a basic tech, just trying to figure out, can I even get into this unit?
That's what I was going to suggest.
I'm not. There are no extraordinary measures here.
Gotcha.
All right, basic tech. I got a 13.
So that's like your everyday understanding, right? You think that this was back in the day when this was fully powered, there's probably like a security desk that was monitoring the camera and that would cause the plexiglass like bulletproof cover to slide up to reveal the keypad and the voice print terminal. Given the state of power in this building, you don't know that either of those two things would be functional. Maybe you could, first you'd have to pry the plexiglass out of place. which you'd need some, you'd have to basically get past the plexiglass by forcing it, right? And then once
Right.
past that, you might have to see if you can like jigger power somehow, right? Like maybe there's some
Right.
juice, like an emergency power backup that you could like
Yeah.
work around.
APT, Omen, APT is shaking her head saying, yeah, this is not going to happen. We should either try the front door, or he eyes the grappling gun, or I guess Batman our way up there. I don't know.
Batman it is.
I'm just, as he says that, I'm just throwing this dude, the big guy's body up the front steps.
Cool. So the corpse. So are you entering into the building as you're doing this? Like, are you dragging the corpse into the building, or are you like
Well,
leaving on the
moving
stairs and going like, huh? Is this good enough?
There's 3 bodies, so I'm just moving all 3 of them up to the like doorway. Not inside yet, but moving them up to the doorway at the very least.
All right, so
I don't want to like bring one all the way in there, then have to walk all the way back out. So I'm just kind of moving all 3 of them.
so you can see through the glass. So this used to be like bulletproof glass, like metal pylons that held things in place. Like it used to be in pretty decent shape. But some of the glass is shattered now, is actually broken from some sort of impacts over the last 20 years. Some of it's still intact. Some of it just is spidered. There's pot marks from bullet holes and what have you. But even at that, looking beyond, you can see, even 20 years on, it's kind of awe-inspiringly beautiful. Like, this is what the future could have been. And looking inside, you see like this beautiful green atrium that just radiates growth. And like you guys growing up in either as nomads or in Night City or what have you, you don't see this kind of thing. This is like a verdant urban forest growing up inside of this building. It's run rampant. You have a hard time actually like reconciling what you're seeing, but there appears to be a multi-story waterfall that is dropping through the center of this atrium into a large pond of water. And you can hear like the sound of the waterfall falling, and you're like, what the hell is that? Because I don't know. In your life, I don't know if you've ever encountered a waterfall. So that's what you see. Aaron, grappling hook. So I would say this is going to be a DV-17 because it's like you actually need to know what you're doing to get into the building. So let's see.
APT looks dubious, Omen. She's not going to stop you, but APT is kind of like, I don't know, man.
I'm taking a little measure of dubious myself, but I'm going to try it because I'm stupid and heroic like that.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know what so what do you happen to know what the appropriate check is for the grappling
Athletics.
gun? Athletic. All right, there you go.
Grappling gun.
Well, I mean,
I can do it.
So I would
can
say
just rescale it.
I would say it's probably, it would be a DC DV-17 check to like fire the grappling hook, latch it on, because like you are a professional.
Would it be a handgun?
That would make sense. I don't know. I do not know the grappling rules, the grappling hook rules. Let me see if
I've got them here. I wrote I
then you
copied
tell
and
me.
pasted them. Wheeled in the left hand, the action user can use a rocket-propelled grappling gun to attach securely to any thick cover 30 meters away. Can only support 2 times the user's body weight and has 10 HP. Negates the movement penalty for climbing when they climb the line.
Okay.
Can retract the line without action, including as they climb. Used as a grapple, user can't hold anything else in the hand to wield a grappling gun. Ineffective as a weapon, cannot be used to make a grab action.
So it sounds like they made it simple and it auto connects. It's just she'll have to make a climb check, but it will make the climb check
I'll
easier.
do a little paste into the chat for you so you can like review the details. That seems like the smart thing to do.
Also, Ken, you said that the baseball bat was nicer than a normal baseball bat. Would that be considered more of a spiked bat, like heavy melee weapon instead of medium melee weapon?
It's a heavy melee weapon. It's not
okay.
It has more mass behind it.
So
cool.
To help you out and hurt myself, the difficulty could be that I need to shoot out that window so that it has something to hold on to.
No, I think that's pretty straightforward. I mean, a lot of the second story windows are broken, so you can fire it up. It latches around to one of the steel bars going up.
Okay.
And then you said this reduces the difficulty of the check.
Negates the movement penalty for climbing.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
So I think that just means, yes, you climb.
All right, so we don't have to make this overly complicated because I think this is actually pretty straightforward. So with the aid of the grappling gun, I think APT, if she's following you, might need to make more of a grappling check. But I think Omen, this is not her first rodeo. So you deftly climb up. You get to this ledge that overlooks the building. This is so hard because you guys start switching to the views, but David controls it. I'm just going to continue doing theater of the mind until it becomes important.
Where do you need me? Where do you need it?
No, it's all right. I'd have to move you to the other map.
Oh, okay.
And line of sight will become important, so I don't want to quite move there yet. So you climb up and you're standing. It kind of goes, Aaron, like it kind of comes up on the sides and then it comes in like with a slope and then it continues up, right? So you clamber up this concrete slope, which as you go up, you can see that it has these grooves in it that were designed, you guess, to carry rainwater. And you stand on the opening of the, looking into this huge atrium. There is what appears to be, like before you, it's probably, you know what, I can turn on my grid and I can actually see how big it is. Give me one sec.
Hey, APT, you want to tell them where you got a way in?
Yeah, I'll run around front.
Ooh, wait, I can do a yardstick.
I'll let Ken
So-
catch up.
About 30 meters in, like there's this, it looks like it's a, you're guessing it's like a building inside the building, basically. There's a roof, right? And growing on top of it is additional plants and what have you. And so when you look in, you can see the same thing that Josh had seen previously as Atlas, right? This just huge, sprawling atrium, completely overgrown with plant life. Looking to the sides, you can see large piles of debris to the south from your position and across the other side of the massive pond. Looking out about it, you can see there is a similar sort of office space with a green space rooftop on the other side. To the south, towards the main entrance, where you can see a number of birds moving about excitedly. There's trees and what have you near the entrance. There's actually trees throughout this place. You're just shocked by the greenery. There's like a concierge / help desk just inside the entrance. Make a perception check.
Where is
That is a awareness perception. It's an int skill.
Oh, it's a skill? Awareness.
It's a skill, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Near the entrance, you pick out what appear to be the desiccated, picked over remains of humans,
Okay.
all dead. So then in the center, massive pond, waterfall falling from like 3 stories up. And then on the other, like there's this waterfall construct, like there's a wall where the waterfall is like just a freestanding sort of waterfall that descends, right? On the other side of that, you make out what you think are banks of elevators. And in the northwest corner and the southeast corner, looks like auxiliary staircases, auxiliary elevators.
So would I be correct in saying that going through the front door is just as advantageous as going up this grappling hook?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll yell down to AP. Just go through the front door. It's fine. Why force them all to climb when the front door is pretty
Gotcha.
much the same thing?
And I go around to the front of the building and just shout, "We don't have a better way in. Let's just go in the front," and see that it looks like they've already gone in the front. So
Not quite there yet, right? But
yeah, but APT
I will-
just like catches up with everybody.
I will retrieve my grappling hook if that needs to be stated. I'm not leaving that behind.
are you
That's-
descending or are you coming in through the second story?
No, I will go in through the second story because that's where I was, and I'm just taking my grappling hook with me.
All right, this is
That's
going to
not a
be
single-use item. That's a reusable item.
so
I
for
love this thing.
you. All right, I'm gonna. Aaron, I love you because you always make things interesting for me.
So I'm up here someplace.
Yeah, we're gonna get that into a. So I'm gonna start moving you guys to the next map. Is everybody else going in through the front door?
Yes.
And are you bringing the bodies with you?
I was gonna say, everybody
Yeah.
grab the body. I'll take the big guy.
Yep. And Ken,
Ooh.
you said there was a shotgun as well.
There was a shotgun.
How many rounds was there for that?
I wrote down 10. That
Okay.
may even have been what I said, but I'm not going to go back and listen to the recording.
Grabs a body. Dead man's party, everybody. Let's do this.
All right, now the true fun begins. Let me just double check my settings here.
Where'd
So
Omen go?
She's. I don't know. Where did Omen go?
Like, I don't think I saw her. I was focused on dragging these bodies up here, so I probably didn't see her catwalk up to the top.
Omen's upstairs. Don't worry about it. Omen will catch up.
Wait, aren't we supposed to be going down though?
Just wait a second, Atlas. Just
Okay.
hold on. I shout up, Omen, come on.
Well, I'm
I
in
mean-
the second floor, so presumably I can go down.
oh, hold on. I need to get you guys in the
Loading.
right.
Yeah, buffering.
So while Ken's doing that, does anybody want any of these weapons? I was gonna, an extra assault rifle or a shotgun in this place does not seem a bad idea.
I'll be honest. I don't know that I've got the skill.
I was going to say, the assault rifle uses shoulder arms. I don't know if anybody's got a good shoulder arms.
I mean, I can shoot it.
Well, yeah.
I'm getting a soda while we set up. I'll be right back.
I already told David I don't need the baseball bat because I've already got my giant lead pipe. That's my heavy melee weapon, so I'm good on that regard. If somebody else wants that, they can get it.
Let me see what weapons I've got here. You know what? I'll take the baseball bat.
Okay. It is a heavy melee weapon, 3d6 damage, and rate of fire 2, which I guess means you can swing it twice in a round, which I don't remember how to do because it's been.
Since I was doing Omen things, I don't think I can help you out with taking any of those weapons off of you, so you guys divvy them up as you will. Penalties to doing Omen things.
You said damage was 3d6?
3d6. Yep.
Thank you.
I've already got 4 weapons with me, so I don't know if I can hold any more anyway.
Brilliant.
I'm the Swiss Army knife of destruction at this point.
That, I think, might be the quote of the game. All right. So I've moved you to the next map. Hopefully this is going to work. So as I keep saying, is it going to work? So I set up dynamic lighting. Second time I've used dynamic lighting on Roll20 in a game. First time was with D&D, still figuring it out. I think I have this correct because it allows you to preview using tokens. So I've been able to kind of see what you guys will see, but I can't 100% see what you're going to see. So you come into this place, like it's not going to be, there should be areas where you're not able to have line of sight or you are not able to see into because like they're closed off and then they will be dark. So if I did everything right, that would be the case. So you all are by the front door, so that would be APT and Atlas and Angry Bob. And then over here, where, as I say, Aaron is making my life interesting.
Wow.
Is
all right.
So Aaron, the way dynamic lighting works, so you understand why you're not actually like in the middle of that area. This is this floor, and I didn't render the above floor, right? And so the walls actually count because with lighting, you have to tell it where walls block stuff. So I'm saying basically you're standing over this space that says office, right? And so, and David is moving you away from it, so I'm going to take it back.
Sorry, I was trying to get a bigger view of for. Go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, so you're standing next to transparent glass windows that look in on what appear to be an office, but it's dark, so you can't see well into it. You can make out like some computer. It looks like a corporate office that looks out on the beautiful atrium all around you. But that's like actually beneath you, right? Because technically you're on top of it.
Okay. Well, I will scale down then.
Okay.
And shout out, hey, meet at the waterfall.
So as you descend, scampering or superhero landing?
Superhero landing. Let's do that. That's cool.
All right. You continue to see there are Corvids in here flying around. They seem agitated. Looking up. So basically you're looking through the center of the Elysium HQ. There's this massive open space above you, which is just overgrown with vines and plant life and what have you. And it looks like each of the levels would have looked out onto the atrium. And looking overhead from the top of the building, like there is some sort of mechanism in place that is gathering the light and focusing it down here, creating a sustainable environment. The whole thing kind of feels like a space station, or what people envisioned a starship would be, like a generational starship, that sort of thing. It doesn't feel like a corporate headquarters. It feels like a corporate headquarters that wants to be a space station, but like the best kind of science fiction space station.
If this weren't irradiated, I would probably want to set up a base here. But we're all slowly dying while we're here, so let's get a move on.
Hey, it's good enough for the Corvids. And then just the last thing. Sorry, just one last thing. As you look up through the interior of it, occasionally like small groupings of Corvids will take off and like fly across the opening above you to land on another area. And they're all just looking down, some with like glowing blue eyes, some with glowing red eyes. Like you are in their domain is very clear to you.
Atlas is just smiling, like ear to ear smile.
Meanwhile, sorry, at the entrance, and then I know, Josh, you were going to say something. You can see, hopefully you can make them out. I was trying to figure out how to backlight them, but apparently I can't do that on this map. Corpses.
Yeah, we can see them.
We're all wearing our breather masks too, right? So we technically all sound like Bane right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
So what do you guys do?
Well, we're dragging the bodies in because we're going to put the body by the other bodies.
I was going to say, it looks like we've got a landing space, so.
Let's sacrifice. Let's give the sacrifice.
I will move towards my group because I know the basic direction that they were in.
Bob is trying to put stuff away while the bodies are being heaped so that he can walk decently.
Sorry, say that again.
Bob is trying to put things away. He's picked up the assault rifle and is pocketing ammunition and things like that. So
where's your camera?
The bodies are being hit on my shoulder. So he's kind of doing this one-handed.
Okay. So the Corvids, like there's this nearby tree. They're like, they fly, like a couple of them take off and like land on the counter of the help desk. And it's like there's a counter in front of the help desk, and then there's like a plexiglass, you assume like bulletproof glass enclosing the concierge / help desk. And they land on it and they're like looking intently at you, but not actually looking intently at you. They're looking intently at your camera.
Okay.
Shards, glass. And then others are like chrome, steel. And like they're getting very excited. A couple more move down next to the concierge desk.
Oh boy. I think we should hurry up, guys.
I'm just gonna basically like whip this body at the front, like basically as close to like the middle of kind of where they're congregating as I can.
Okay, which body was it?
The big guys. I think he was the one that had the rocket launcher on him
Okay.
too.
Several move in on him, and so you can see next to the corpse that was already there, it has been stripped of any chrome, right? Like just ripped out by the Corvids. And you can see they go to town on the glow boy and they start doing the same thing, like plucking at the mechanism of his grenade launcher, starting to go at his cybernetics in his head, and I mean, this guy's borked out, so they're having a field day with it. But one still kind of like this one over here, still like looks at Angry Bob and is like, Shard.
Are you carrying a body too?
Shard?
Not at the moment. No.
And I'm assuming that data storage in 2045 is also referred to as shards.
I think that's a safe assumption.
It is made. You feel like it has made an intuitive gap that you might, an intuitive leap that you must have some amount of storage.
Gotcha.
Any impediment to me keep moving?
Oh no, you can join everybody else.
Okay.
Actually, I'll reach into a pocket, pull out a memory chip, and while still recording with my other hand, hold it out like palm up. Just like, here's the memory chip. Here you go.
The Corvid like takes to the air, lands in the ground in front of you, and then like looks up expectantly and flits and takes the chip from your hand, and then like cocks its head and it's like and like mutters, Shard, Shard. And then you see another one comes over and lands next to it and like starts to try and like get it from its beak. It's like, Shard, mine, Shard.
Okay, and this is the point where Bob will move away.
Omen, what are you carrying? Like, is there anything overtly shiny or interesting as you're making your way over to everybody else?
I mean, she's got guns, grappling hook, anti-smog mask. She's not super techy.
But you're not like overtly chrome, right?
No.
I don't know that any of you guys are actually all that overtly chromed up, right?
Chrome
like
means
No, not at all.
Meaning you have a lot of obvious cybernetics. Like think David at the end of Edgerunners, right?
Yeah.
I've only got the starter cybernetic, which is something with my hands.
My first cybernetic.
Yeah, I've got a neural link. That's my only chrome.
So the Corvids at this point seem pretty distracted. So again, I'm going to zoom out for a sec, and then, or maybe David, you could zoom out, and I'll show you guys. I'll do the tour. Over.
Is that good or more?
That's good. I'm going to focus ping. So over here, you can see some what appear to be elevator doors. It's not particularly well illuminated, but you can make them out.
Mm-hmm.
Over here is what appear to be banks of computers.
Ooh.
Perhaps some sort of workstation. This is, as I was mentioning before, you're guessing some sort of like corporate offices kind of thing. Up over here, you can see, and this is where my daylight isn't quite working right. There's a big pile of debris at the center of the room, which you can't see from where you are because of the waterfall, but Omen saw as she was coming in, is basically like, your speed elevators, get to the 100th floor in 2 seconds sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had previously seen on the, let's see, I'm going to move here, in the upper left-hand corner, which you can't see from where you are right now, was the other like auxiliary elevator.
What's the chances that the elevators are working, particularly the speed ones?
I mean, we want to go down, right? So
you do want to go down.
I presume the elevators are the only way down.
They usually build staircases in these places.
From where you are right now, I think you probably make it out. So everybody can make perception checks.
Yay, I like perception. I gotta find perception.
Awareness.
Thank you.
Not terrible.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, APT.
So
Woohoo.
you all notice that the doors are jammed open. The elevator doors are jammed open. APT notices that there are grappling hooks attached to the top and wedged into like the side walls, and there are rappelling lines that are descending down. Like you can see the grappling hook, and there must be rappelling lines that are going down into the elevators.
Yeah. We're not the first ones here. I point out the grapplers. Omen, if you wanted to climb, looks like that's our way down.
Shunk. She goes right for it.
Let's see. So you can see, looking down the elevator shaft, you can see it is complete. It is completely dark.
A question to ask is, how recent is this rope? Is it nice and new? Has it been here a while?
It's new.
Okay.
Within the last, it doesn't show a lot of wear and tear. It looks like it was recently purchased.
Okay.
It shows I shouldn't say recently purchased. It looks like modern rope. It hasn't been here for 20 years.
Okay. Yeah, that I won't know if it was last night or last week, but I just, wanted to check and make sure that this rope is not gonna snap. But also that it's fresh means that team could still be down there. How many are there?
There are 4 lines descending.
Okay.
One for each of us. I'm gonna throw the other 2 bodies over to the rest of the herd, like one over here and one on the other side, just to kind of spread them out so that everybody gets.
Okay.
Evidently, I was on mute earlier, but I was making a comment of I only have 4 of those shards left. I brought extra kibble, but I didn't expect things would eat memory shards, so I don't think we should stay here too much longer. In terms of those grappling hooks, is there any dust or grime or anything on them? I know they're newer, but are they new like today?
No, they probably, so there is this sort of micro environment within here. They're showing a little bit of wear and tear. If you had to guess, they've probably been here for at least a couple of days, right? There's a level of grime that has accumulated on them.
There you go, birdies. Eat away. And I'm going to start making my way towards the elevator where I saw.
All right. APT looks dubious, but grabs a hold of one of these grappling ropes.
So do we want to be nice to the people that are probably still down there and leave them here?
The grappling hooks, we're going to need them to get back.
Yeah, but so will they.
What's your plan, Bob? Are we going to get rid of the grappling hooks so we can't get out? What are you talking about?
No, we can pull these up and then maybe go down the speed elevators or find the stairs.
I can tell you the power here is going to be weird.
Okay.
I think the grapplers are the best way down.
I guess the bonus here is anything down there they would have run into already, till we start finding bodies.
Let's let them clear everything in front of us, and we'll just follow behind in their wake. Yeah.
Yep.
Good point.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
Okay. So you guys can all move yourselves next to the elevator. I think who else is not moved yet?
APT is the only one that hasn't moved.
Okay.
Sorry. My bad.
So, dark elevator. I'm just moving APT over.
Thank you.
Light sources.
I'm going to go first because I'm the best climber. So if I encounter anything that's going to be a problem in the dark that we can't see, I can probably deal with it.
The GM makes a good point. What light sources do we have on us?
It is pitch black, to be clear.
I don't know that I have any light. Well, I have a flamethrower. That's like momentary light.
All right. All right. The first thing Bob will do is lean out over, and I imagine that his camera has a pretty decent light on it because he's not always in well-lit situations, and just click that on and face it down the shaft.
It descends into darkness. You can see about 1 story below you. It appears you can't see to the bottom of the shaft. So it probably goes at least, that it goes 3 stories down because you were told to go to the 3rd level. And speaking of which, let me go back to my notes here for a second. I have a lot of them.
All right. Well, APT, Omen, since my hands are usually going to be pretty full, Bob reaches into a different pocket, pulls out 4 glow sticks, and hands 2 of them to each of you.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I just posted into the chat the instructions that APT would have been given from her fixer contact priest that were delivered as part of the job. They weren't really relevant until now, but I think now is probably a good time to chat because you do have this information. And so basically the instructions are very simple. It's almost like command line. Descend to the 3rd floor, proceed to main data core. Inside main data core, which clearly I needed to do a little more editing at 4 o'clock in the morning. Inside main data core, locate data terminal, find the auxiliary power breaker, flip it to the on position. Actually, that locate data terminal doesn't need to be there.
With glow stick, I descend.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your glow sticks. So, David, what do you think the area of illumination is? And
On
what
a
color
glow
are
stick?
they? Yeah.
It's
20 feet, maybe?
yeah, I would
Glow
say
sticks?
if that.
10? 10?
Well, I mean, it's the question is which kind of glow sticks are they? Are they like rave glow sticks, or are they like the glow sticks you
Halloween.
see when they're like crack a big thing and then drop them down the shaft?
Well,
Like
if
2 foot long glow
if
sticks.
memory serves from college, were the ones that we would break and put into drinks. In a dark room, you could see, I don't know, about a 10-foot, it's probably more like 8 feet, maybe.
So the rules actually
so
tell
the light
us.
tube to illuminate a 4-meter/yard area for 10 hours.
All right. So 12 feet.
So I'd say 4 meters of bright light and then another meter of like, say 2 meters of.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be generous.
How about you do 2 of bright and 2? We'll see what it looks like. Hold on. I don't want to do directional light. Low light on. 2 and 2 seems reasonable. 2 for bright, 2 for low. What color?
I think it's just a multi-pack. So,
Orange,
a
blue,
green,
purple.
a blue, a yellow, a red.
You're going to make me. So I'll go character by character. David, what color would you like your glow stick to be?
It'll just be green. I'm not lighting that up. I actually have a flashlight. So
Oh, okay. So you don't. So, well,
I was expecting the glow sticks to be dropped as markers for us to come back to later. But
so
if we
there is a difference between a flashlight, which is directional light, and a glow stick that is surround light. So if you have
Sure.
a flashlight, so you're going to
Can
be
you shine it down there so we can see what we're doing?
I have the one on my camera, but I actually have a flashlight.
Does flashlight tell you how much it illuminates?
Let's see, where is flashlight?
Does your camera also have night vision? Can we get a look down this shaft to see what we're going into?
Flashlight is a 100-meter/yard beam of light.
Really?
Yes. It's a beam, not a cone, per se.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be generous, you could make it a cone. But I would say, like, if you wanted to use the dynamic lighting, I would say like 50 meters. Like, I would say, how light falls off pretty quick. So
Yeah.
I would say
So-
bright light for a little while, and then dimmer light out to the 100 is what I would say. Not
So-
fun. Go ahead. Sorry.
It bears saying those were security bodies. Do any of them have a flashlight that have?
Oh,
not
they weren't
been used?
security. Well, you didn't really examine the bodies. You're making assumptions, Aaron.
I'm going to go examine the bodies. Maybe they have
They're
a
covered in
flashlight.
Corvids right now.
So
Oh.
there's like 1 or 2 that are like they like screech at you as you come closer, but you can take a look and it is clear these people were edgerunners. This was another crew.
Do they have flashlights?
At
That
a
have not
glance,
been-
everything that could have been torn away from their bodies to be repurposed by Corvids who want to make more cybernetic Corvids has been torn away, including flashlights with batteries. God
Okay.
only knows
Well,
what they
it
did
was-
with it.
It was worth it. It was worth a chance.
Oh yeah. So
Mhm.
I want to keep one
Um,
of these birds.
How
I
tall
wanted
are
to
these
make it
things?
nice.
Are they're bigger than normal crows, right?
I mean, they're hefty, like they're like ravens,
Okay.
right? Like
okay.
they're
For a minute in my head, I was thinking it was like 3 foot tall, but it's more like a foot.
To make one of them my friend and have it perched on my shoulder.
And constantly feed it memory shards.
Like just kind of every time we were walking by, just like give it a little treat.
All right, I'm trying to figure out how to make your flashlight, Angry Bob. So give me a sec.
No worries. Hey, Josh, what is the type of of ammo for a assault rifle? Is that just a shell? No, that's
There we go.
It's-
never mind. It's rifle, probably.
Yeah, I imagine. I actually have incendiary ammo right now that
Okay.
I'm using. So I have a special type of ammunition that that I spent some extra cash on, but yeah, I don't know if it has any kind of special bullets outside of that.
No, that's cool. I was looking at, because auto fire with an assault rifle means I probably need a little bit less skill to hit something.
All right.
Oh, that's a
APT,
nice
what color?
flashlight.
What APT? What color is your glow stick?
Green.
And hopefully we won't need it, but the flashlight has a 10-hour charge, and the glow stick, I believe, only lasts for 10 hours and then goes out.
That should be good. And then, okay, moving on. Atlas, what color would you like your glow stick to be?
Let's go blue. Be different. But yeah, it does use standard rifle. Need to refresh my mind on what auto fire.
Omen, what color would you like your light to be?
Is pink an option? Otherwise, I'll go with white.
Pink is an option. Okay.
Auto fire takes 1 action, 10 bullets. You can't make an aim shot. Targets with a reflex of 8 or higher can try to dodge, but you use the auto fire skill, and then there's a table.
I'm starting to feel like the Power Rangers here.
Okay. Are there any other preparations you are taking before you descend the elevator shaft?
I'm going to secure my camera so that I might be able to get some recording, but I don't want it falling off my shoulders.
Hey, I've asked, does your camera have night vision? Can you get a shot of what we're looking at down there?
That's a good question. Do any cameras have?
Can you shine your flashlight down there also? I mean,
well, yeah, I'm definitely going to shine the flashlight down there.
Because we don't even know how far we're going down, and that seems like something we should know.
Yeah, so you can shine your super duper powered flashlight down the shaft. And you know what? I'm going to make you... I don't know if I can make you glow and have directional light at the same time because of how dynamic lighting works. But you shine it, it easily illuminates the bottom of the shaft, given that it's like a freaking like high-powered light. You can see the tops of 2 elevators. The hatches to said elevators are open.
Okay.
And the elevators are residing on the bottom of the 3rd floor. So all told, you're probably looking at... let's see. I'm trying to do the math in meters. So like each floor would probably be
2 to 3 meters. 3 meters.
Well, probably I'm thinking like 4 meters with infrastructure, right? That
4.
would be 12.
Yeah.
12 feet, maybe 5 meters. So we're probably looking, all told, with additional infrastructure, what have you, something like 50 to 60 meters down. It's 3 stories down because you have to get to the 3rd level, but the elevators are parked on the bottommost level.
And
Right.
there's no ladder rungs for like service or anything?
Oh, no, there are. They are located, I can draw them on there. Hold on.
The video camera, unfortunately, is kind of like the 1980s video camera and does not have night vision.
So there are
Okay.
utility ladders on the outsides of each one that you could choose to take down. Now that you guys are looking in, you go, hey, look, there's a ladder.
To go down the ladder.
All right. So you are not under fire. You're not under any pressure. You are able to approach the elevators and prepare to descend. As you do so, sorry, I thought I was in the right place, but apparently I was not. Oh, there we go. Okay. One of the Corvid that David, you had given the data shard to, comes flying over and lights on this tree. Let's see. The tree that is next to you. So I'll just move this guy over to represent him. And it squawks at you and cries out, down, no wings, down, stupid.
I turn around. What's down?
Queen, beware, queen.
That's not. Maybe we listen to the crows. Maybe.
And then it cleans underneath its wing for a second, and then it kind of like cucks its head at you and says, I'll die, and then flies away.
He flew away.
Well, what did we expect from a murder of crows?
They didn't kill him, though. All right. What the heck are they talking about, this queen? I think we may need to look out for other weird fauna.
I can't imagine what would give you that impression, Bob. APT is just like, sorry, gallows humor. Are we going down? We're going down.
Yeah,
aren't
we're going
we?
down.
All right.
That's the job.
That's the job.
Yeah, we aren't getting paid enough for it. They agreed too easy.
There's a queen down there. It's very dangerous. Atlas, you go first.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna copy you guys and move us to the next board. So give me one quick
You
second.
know, I
here.
wonder if we are not their first choice, and their first choice was the ones that already went down and are the ones that are strewn about this help desk concierge area.
So the elevator shaft does have a wall between it. Are you all going down the same shaft?
Are the grappling hooks down both shafts?
Yes.
Okay.
They split the
We
party.
should stick together.
Can we
Stick together. Do not split the party.
can we look down the other shaft to see if there's anything different down the other shaft?
It's the same. The
Looks the
ropes descend to the same level. They
Mm-hmm.
seem to not have taken the stairs. And Chris, just so you know, we can hear your typing
I
vaguely.
am so sorry. I'm making notes. I'll stop.
I'm just no. You can take notes. I'm just saying, like, you might want to mute when you're typing. So, and then of course we will inevitably tell you that you are muted when you try and say something.
Right.
All right. So which shaft do you take in the north shaft, the north shaft or the south shaft?
The north one. Why
Presuming
not?
the north is on the top, I would say north. Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you asking if they go to the same place, Ken? Huh?
There could be reasons, man. There could be reasons.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Okay, so because Bob's flashlight is directional, he's going to be at a weird angle because I'm not going to keep rotating his thing. So you can rotate your own token to indicate which way the flashlight is going.
Can
You
can.
should be able to rotate your token,
That's cool. Awesome. I'm like a lighthouse. One last question is, the shotgun, did it have shells or slugs? Normally it comes with
yeah.
slugs.
Slugs. I probably just said
Okay.
shells out of habit.
Sorry, Chris. If it had shells, you'd have an area effect weapon.
Okay.
You descend the elevator. You are now resting on the top of the elevator car. So you are actually on the second floor, not on the. You're actually down the shaft, right at the. Let's see, the elevator
So
beneath you.
We're on sublevel 2, not sublevel 3. And are the doors here open? Is
Yes.
that what we're seeing?
Yeah, so what you're seeing, so technically you would be, because the elevators like pass through the different levels, right? So the elevator itself is on the third floor. You're probably like 15 feet below the second floor, but the doors are open, and you could choose to take the ladders, which obviously, let's see, you could take the elevators to go up to the true second floor, but you're far enough that looking out, you can see in your collective, you can see light from in that floor radiating towards you, I guess.
I
The
guess
room
what
is,
I'm
the
asking,
floor above you is illuminated. Let's put it that way.
yeah, I guess I'm asking is like, does it look like the team that came here before us have opened the doors and have pried them open? Or
Yes,
is it
they are-
like a clear door?
They are clearly jammed open.
Okay.
And the elevator doors, so the access hatch on the elevator is open beneath you.
Okay. I'm going to swing my camera around. What is that?
So are you going up? Are you going up the stairs? So you'd have to go up the ladder to look out, right? So it's like 15 feet climb, then look out, which you could totally do.
We were going down the ladder to get here.
Right.
So, like, as we go down, is there a way that I could just pause and
Oh yeah,
look
sure.
through
Yeah, I
those
was
doors?
thinking that way, but yes, you're totally. As you're coming down, you can like shine your flashlight out, right? So we'd even move you over a little.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see where I
you to like there.
shined. Can I shine the flashlight like that? Do you see where I'm shining the flashlight?
Oh yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay. What the heck is that?
It's a robot.
Okay.
Some sort of drone.
Powered down?
Doesn't appear to be active right now.
Okay. Kind of sweep the flashlight through the area and see if there's any blood, bodies, weird things, movement.
Not from what you can see, but there is the honeycomb cells to the north. So basically, you're looking out of the elevator. You're looking across. You can see a row of doors. All of them are open. They appear to go into some sort of. You can't quite make out what's in those rooms. You'd have to go over there and see. To the north, there's a robot or drone type creature. Like it looks like it's a flying drone, but it's currently powered down and kind of resting on its landing feet outside of one of the walls between two of the doors. To the north of you can see these like this honeycomb thing that looks still it hums with low energy, and you think it's some sort of power cell, if you had to guess.
Okay, so that's not okay. I mistook that as like paint on the ground. So those are
No.
actual like honeycomb metallic structures.
Yeah, it's like there's a lattice work, and they glow in that ever so awesome science fiction-y sort of way, right? It screams experimental tech to you. Like, this isn't what batteries usually look like.
Hey, AP, you want to take a look at this? You want to take a look at this thing? I have no idea what it is. No, the honeycomb power thing. I mean, they're glowing.
Yeah.
Do we want to get out on this floor?
Well,
I heard Queen, and I'm seeing honeycombs, and I'm thinking giant bee, given what we just saw upstairs. But that just may be my paranoia talking.
Did you say bees and Atlas?
Aaron's got a flamethrower.
All right, look, just cover me, would you?
I hate bees.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a flamethrower.
Both Atlas and Josh.
So APT walks over to the honeycomb.
And Bob will step out. There we go.
What am I looking at?
It appears to be, as Bob was attempting to explain to you, this is some sort of energy lattice. Like,
Okay.
you don't honestly know what the hell this is. Like,
All right.
I mean, you can, use the appropriate skill. Like, you might be able to figure something out. It looks kind of like some sort of array of batteries, but not like anyone you've seen before. It has these cables that are running out of it to this large structure to the north. And it looks like, I don't know, it's a science thing. So I don't know how technical APT is when it comes to, science and
She's more of a hacker. She's got a little bit of techie. This sounds like it calls for a roll. Let me, how about, okay, I'm going to give you some options. Electronics and security, tech, cyber tech, basic tech, weapons tech.
I would say maybe basic tech. I think I would be really shooting for science.
All right. Well, okay, so science. Well, is there a science skill?
It is under education.
Okay. Well, let's see. I've got pretty good deduction in education. Let me see. Science.
That would be putting 2 and 2 together, though, right?
It would. Yeah. It looks as though I do not have a science skill. So
we have education, though. Is that what you mean? Is
education? I think would be like your. No, I think it looks like there's an actual education skill under education, if I'm reading my skill list correctly.
There is. Yeah. I can roll that.
I think that would be sort of like your general liberal arts. Like you went to high school and you took basic science.
Okay. Well, here we go. I'm gonna take a look at the science thing. I rolled a 22, Bob.
Can you do assist in Cyberpunk, or would I roll a separate education?
I honestly don't remember how assist works in Cyberpunk.
I mean, a 22 is pretty good.
I think it's pretty good.
I mean, Bob's educated as well. That's why.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll yours as well, and we'll see if we can put your two great minds together. So between the two of you, and so I don't know how you came to your various science educations, but so how did you come to your science education? Like did you guys get formal learning, or you just been reading through PDFs of Scientific America? Like, how do you?
I would suspect that it would be the latter for APT.
Yeah, I think it would probably be similar for Bob. He reading through all sorts of stuff. He's got a pretty good library search too. It's one of those things where he's just absorbing knowledge as he's trying to find the next story that might hit.
This, if you had to guess, and you're pretty sure, you vaguely remember like an article about Elysium working on a variety of exotic energy platforms to power their aerospace programs, specifically their plans for orbital stations. This looks to be some sort of high energy research device.
High energy research device. Okay.
Like
high energy particle physics research device.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I mean, it's obviously not a loop, but
we've got a baby particle accelerator here. This is
if you had to guess, they were smashing atoms, or they were doing so. This is something that like you're not quite sure what it is, and you're not sure that if you had like 3 doctorates, you'd still understand what it is. But your best guess is this is some sort of high particle like physics experiment area.
Okay, I relay that. Bob and I are chatting, obviously, but I just shout it back to Atlas and Omen, and maybe ask if Atlas and Omen would be willing to take a peek around and make sure nothing's going to sneak up on us while we play with the weird particle accelerator device.
I've got my trained on this little robot right here. Like I've just got it. I've moved into my optimum range, and I've just got my whatever laser sight equivalent of just me looking at him.
And Bob, you vividly remember like a cover from like Popular Mechanics, like solving the world's energy problems. Jason Antilles is taking us to the future, right? And like this thing in the background, looking all sciencey.
So, and Jason Antilles was like the CEO of Zeta Tech at the time?
Not Zeta Tech, Elysium.
Elysium, sorry.
And he was...
Zeta Tech's the one who's got the bounty out on us.
Yes. Looking for your mastermind leader, Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
He knew from your research he was the last of the tech bros.
Did realize just looking at this education, I do have an 11 in tactics. I know how to fight. It's just yeah.
So,
speaking of tactics, Atlas, there's a or not Atlas. Wow, Angry Bob. There's a hallway down here. You want to have a look down this hallway real quick?
Maybe. But I was thinking, APT, we're not getting paid enough, and maybe there's some research down here that we could take back. And
maybe, but I'd be perfectly happy just to go in and avoid this queen thing and flip the switch like we're supposed to. So maybe we leave this alone.
So I got to ask, because it's been a bit, and Omen's hanging out in an elevator with an open door going down. What's Omen doing?
You mean is open door is Omen still in the elevator?
Well, right now our
and
token
not
is
already through the door.
Right, that's the question.
At this point, they're messing around with that. I'm looking back at them. That's an after we've turned the switch.
Yeah, but if we turn the switch and security comes back on, we might not have a chance to come back. Because that drone may be dead now, but it may turn on if the building power goes.
You want me to make it not turn on?
Hold on. Hey, APT.
Yes, Bob.
Can you make that drone our...
I could certainly try, Bob, but maybe we should figure out where we're going. I'll tell you what, you figure out where we're going, and I will go tinker with the bot. How's that? You're full of suggestions.
Yeah, I'm an idea guy. I'm not really the leader.
Uh-huh. Well, I am the leader, so why don't I suggest that you scout the perimeter? Maybe take Atlas with you.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Take Atlas with me.
You need to change your name to Level-Headed Bob, not Angry Bob.
It's a persona thing, you know. So I guess Atlas and I, do you want to take a look down these corridors real quick, make sure nothing's going to come up behind us when we go down?
I'm so worried about what's going to happen as soon as APT touches this thing.
All right. Well, I'll slide over next to you and look down this hall.
I don't like bees. Bees are the enemy of all animals.
All right. So, sorry, you're looking down. I was just looking up instructions or whatever. So you see that corridor just seems to end in a solid wall.
And there's a door in the wall there.
There's a door just to on the northern side of that particular wall.
I don't want to go all over the place while APT's doing her thing too. So
Gotcha. All right, APT, you got a powered down drone.
Right.
I'm going to get out of the elevator because it's clear that we're going to be here a while.
Right, I've got a powered down drone. All right, just taking a look at the drone. What does the drone do? Is it armed? Is it...
normally you would expect to see a drone equipped with some sort of like gun. This thing, in place of where you would expect to find a gun on a modern drone, there appears to be some sort of tube with like an connected to an oversized battery pack.
Boy.
And you feel a little uneasy. Like you feel like maybe you're at the pointy end.
Yeah. We're gonna go around to the back of the drone. And all right. Here's what APT is going to try and do. It's going to try to disable the motor functions before powering it on.
Okay. So I guess that would be let's see, what is it? Not electronics. Maybe it would be like electronics and security tech. Like you're
I think it's
trying to pull the board that would allow it to move.
Yeah.
Yep.
Disconnect that.
So you pop open the hatch, and you're looking around inside, and it's like you don't even know where to begin. This doesn't look like this does not.
Boy.
Like there's analogs, you might be able to take a guess, but you'd have to spend more time guessing.
APD cuts bait. Says, nope, Bob, this is too weird. I'm not tinkering with this. Have you found anything useful?
Bob stopped listening when you said weird and comes over and takes a look.
I'm looking at the honeycomb
What?
things.
Weird?
I'm interested in
Points
that.
the camera.
Okay,
at
hold
the
on a
drone.
sec.
If you don't put that camera down, I'm going to shove it up your ass.
You know how many times I've been told. Yeah, that is weird. Did you say you just wanted to nope out of this? We're leaving this one.
I'm noping out of it. If the only thing that I would do to this is stick a grenade inside and walk away. Can I detach the gun?
No, it's intrinsic
Nope.
to the drone.
All right. Well, it's either going to come back on or it's not. But I can't make heads or tails of this.
Do we want to disable it with, say, that fancy new baseball bat of ours?
Hey, you guys
Smash a few of the crystals.
What'd you say, Atlas?
I said, you guys
Alice has gone over towards the big machine that we have been avoiding.
And Omen. So let's pause for a second.
Yep.
Before Omen, what you wanted to check out the this weird honeycomb lattice work. Like I said before, it's kind of humming. It's like a low. There's like you can feel there's like some power still here. It vibrates ever so slightly as you're closer to it, and as you come closer, like it's honeycombs inside of honeycombs inside of honeycombs, and it faintly glows.
Okay. Anything I can take off?
No, because the lattice is like inside of the lattice, inside of the lattice. Like it almost looks like it was grown rather than assembled.
Huh.
Imagine seeing a honeybee hive and trying to just like take out a chunk of it. You would have to like have a knife that you would be able to slice it off. Only this appears to be, you're not quite sure what the material is.
And I don't have a knife.
If you had a vibroblade, you might be able to make a dent in it, but
Nope. I only have guns and a stun baton and a flamethrower, which is all not going to help me here.
If I remember, Cyberpunk has nano.
yeah, I mean they have monofilament. Like you mean
At one
like
point,
monofilament stuff, and I think there was some
like
amount of
nano machines.
Yeah, there
sort
were.
of like
I think so. I'd have to go back and read through all of my Chromebooks from 2020.
to know there was. I know there was an edition that may or may not be canon, which went into the nanotech side of things, but I don't know if that's part
Yeah,
of
there was like the
Cyberpunk
next
Red.
gen stuff.
Yeah.
2020 got to some interesting places, but I don't have all those books.
So right.
Oh boy.
This machine thing here, is there an obvious off button for when we turn on?
Hey, APT, I think if we're going to nope out, we need to go and let them know now because they're getting awfully close to that machine.
You see this fun thing over here?
I do now.
To answer your question, Aaron, no. You think maybe this is controlled from somewhere else?
Can we disentangle the wire?
Possibly, they're like you could probably unplug them, right? You can see
Yeah,
like they've
I'll
got like
unplug
the
those
safety
cables.
latches and whatever to kind of like that's still fairly conventional.
Why are we doing this? I don't understand. We're supposed to be finding a room with a switch. Why are you playing with the cords?
I don't like.
I was hanging in the elevator for about 15 minutes while you all were playing with the drone. I decided
We're
it
not
was time.
playing with the drone. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't attack us.
I'm trying to make sure the hives don't attack us.
It's not a hive. It's a power supply. You people and your bees.
I don't like bees.
What's Atlas doing? Because I feel like this is the point where he'd be like, oh, well, a grenade could probably take care of that, but
I am looking at whatever this thing is and heavily considering what a rocket launcher might be able to do to it.
I mean, it looks pretty sturdy, but it also looks like it's high tech. So most things probably don't react well to rocket launchers.
Does it look like I mean, from my point of view, looking at the map, it looks like a big high-tech conference table.
Oh no, it's like it's not it's like a huge
This here.
Yes. So the thing it's like a big cross, right?
Mhm.
But it fills like that whole space, and
Okay.
it's solid. But it's like also crystalline, so you can see through into it, right? So high tech, super science, weird shit. And you can see things like here, you can see like, there's beams that are supposed to shoot at this center thing and like,
All right. APT performs some percussive maintenance on the drone.
Okay.
And
There were crystals in it.
yeah, basically shoves the bat in and jimmies it around to break, detach whatever crystals,
All right.
and render it inoperative to the best of her ability.
You do so. Omen and Atlas, are you disconnecting the cables?
Since we seem to be staying no matter what everybody tells me, and we seem to be doing things, yes, I'll disconnect them.
Oh,
All right.
God.
So
Bob's going to pull out the Geiger counter because he just thought, hey, that's an energy source and we're already in an irradiated zone.
Right.
it's clean energy, man. Elysium was all about clean energy.
Well, let's find out.
You disconnect the cables, which I've indicated by drawing pink lines on the board.
Mhm.
Excellent. Then I go stand in the elevator shaft again.
Yep, that's
Okay.
what I'm doing too.
You do also see that there is, as you're coming over, you can see that there is stairs down and the door is open. That was over.
Oh, hey,
Here.
stairs. Easier.
Like stairs. Let's go do stairs.
One of these stairs. This one.
Yeah.
I go hang out in the stairs and wait for everybody to join me.
All right, well, move yourself there, Omen.
See, we were smart, kind of.
Maybe we were smart.
Let's see. Are they on the right level? Yes, they are. Cool. All right. There we go.
I do enjoy that we're just basically making as much chaos as possible.
And I do have one question as we're heading toward this stairway. Did anything change when they unplugged everything? Like, did a certain high-pitched whine suddenly drop? Or, I mean, something that would indicate that something had been powered down?
Nope.
Okay. Just thought I'd check.
So, Omen, are you going into the stairs?
Yes.
You
The
move
Geiger
yourself
counter
into the
didn't
stairs.
start going wild or anything like that.
It did not. It's actually been
Okay.
not chirping since you've been
That's-
in here.
Oh, more dead bodies.
That's either good or really bad. Either good, there's not a lot of radiation around here, or bad, the Geiger counter just doesn't work.
With the grappling hooks.
You what?
Found the other team with the grappling hooks.
Oh, geez.
Yes, it's like Angry Bob was just like monologuing, hey guys, there's no radiation here, that's fun. And then Omen's like, guys, corpses, guys.
Did they have a lot of chrome on them?
Yeah, they look like edgerunners, probably comparable, maybe a little bit better than you guys. You guys can. It is obvious that they are riddled with bullet holes. In fact, there are pot marks of bullet holes all in this room, in the stairwell.
Does it look like looking up and down the stairs on the opposite wall? Is the opposite wall riddled with bullets as well? As in, did they fire back?
Yeah, so there are bullets all around. However, you can see that the primary patterns for the bullets, like where they're striking, are like in these areas here. So like if you had to guess, like shooting from like in this way, if I can draw my little arrows here.
Yep.
I guess I don't actually have to draw this. I could use the directional thingy. But you get what I mean.
More important, do they have any ammo still on them or guns?
Not much. So they seem battered. They have all of their guns are empty.
Damn.
And gear is in pretty bad shape, as though like they weren't just shot and killed. They were mowed down and then like quadruple checked for what do you call it? Like not a double tap, but like
made sure that they were dead.
Tapped. Like they were just clips were unloaded, like a chain gun basically just shredded them and their gear.
Do we see?
Oh, jeez.
I guess. Do we see like bullet holes like all throughout the stairway? Like they were running away from something and trying to get up the stairs, or
if you had
just got surprised right here.
This seems like a good place for deduction, since that is apparently a skill.
I'm good at that. I have a pretty good deduction.
I would say, Josh, your tactics would also come into play, since they were probably a trained squad trying to do a thing.
Where is deduction anyway? I'm just curious.
Right next to near tactics.
It's under education.
Oh, okay.
It's next near tactics. Yeah.
Omen's like, well, we should clearly go down.
I move to the side and let people do what they're going to do.
Omen thinks she's in a hallway.
Pockets.
Omen's pretty sure this is a hallway.
So you're pretty sure
go up or down.
you're pretty sure that they were ascending from the lower level.
They were running
and were
away.
mowed down on their way up.
All right.
You are also pretty clear from what you were able to put together that the source of the bullets, although you can't see anything that would have caused it, were in the two corners and like opposite from one another. If you can hear, I'm gonna there's a laser thing, isn't there? A laser pointer. Here we go. So like here and here are clearly the source of whatever the bullets were.
Something boxed them in,
and they have random pop marks. Josh, from what you can see, this was a disciplined team. Like they were withdrawing in an organized manner. They were just mowed down. You think they were surprised and were not expecting what they ran into.
Does this corner, does it look like solid concrete, or is there a hatch of some sort?
At a glance, it looks like solid concrete. Or plasticrete, or whatever the hell this building's made out of.
Yeah. Was there any sort of seams or anything else like that? You know,
you might have to get closer
at it. Yeah.
It's like 10 feet up, right? Like this is like a stairwell coming down, right? So like you get closer and take a look.
Yeah. Well, wait, I misunderstand that. So this part right here, you said that the shots came from.
I'm saying that coming from here, but you see no reason why they would have come from there.
Okay.
The wall is smooth.
Gotcha.
Unless there was a floating drone that was shooting from over there.
Sure. Yeah. That is all right.
I like the ominous music playing in the background.
Oh, is that picking did that pick that up?
It did. It's like
that is either
our dishwasher.
That's our dishwasher telling us it's done from 2 rooms away.
Jeez, oh man. God, that's irritating.
Anywho, what are you guys doing? You're on the stairs. There's a bunch of corpses pulverized by bullets.
I start sneaking down the stairs to get out of APT's way from all her deductioning, but nothing I can do here, so I'm gonna go find out what's down here.
Okay.
Is that down or up?
I'm going down.
Yeah,
That's
we'll call the southern end down. The arrows are a little funky, but
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
no, because the other one says up, right? So the layout's a little odd. I don't know. This is my first time using these geomorphs. So for the people who can't see it, these are the GURPS Traveler geomorphs, which make for a very excellent corporate headquarters.
Yep.
But I'm not sure what they're trying for there. Because there's two directional arrows going towards each other, right? So we're just going to call south down, like the actual descending the staircase, right? So as Omen descends down,
I was assuming that the big end is where we are, and then as it gets smaller, that goes down. So
yeah, that would be implied, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so, because you're covering up down. I don't know. So I guess where Omen is, it's down from upstairs, and where Atlas went is down, going down to the next level. If I'm reading the arrows correctly.
Either way, we're coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's a staircase. You're going to be going down. Is everybody continuing to go down? Because I will move you to the next floor.
I mean, we're just the elevator is right next to this anyways, right? So we're going to come out at the same spot that the elevator would drop us anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll follow.
I'm going to move the corpses out of the way so I can grab you guys and move you to the next level. So
But on the bright side, since they still have all their chrome in them, it's good if we need to get past the birds again later.
The birds have been the most reasonable part of this entire excursion.
yeah.
I think they've had the best advice, really.
Right? Really?
Yeah. Maybe we could
about the
capture a
edges.
couple of the birds and go
no.
back and sell those.
No.
Do these guys have any storage chips on them?
If they did, their bodies are so disintegrated by bullets, you wouldn't be able to recover them.
Oh, okay. I was just
Yeah,
thinking.
I was thinking about
we could feed to the
asking.
birds after we came back up.
They've basically
I
been
think
ground to
about asking
hamburger.
about flashlights, but I've had a feeling that was going to be the answer.
All right.
These guys were trained people. We're coming in with rave lights ready.
They were at least as well trained as you.
I bet they got more for their job. They contracted for better.
Yeah, I wonder how soon the next team is going to be coming in. Like, are they already on their way? Just assuming that we're...
Unless you know that how much trial and error went into them knowing that this was on the third floor tower.
Right? Yeah. Did they find some information, or are they just assuming and had a radio transmission or something and said, hey, there's a switch here?
So you got a door and it's closed.
I'm going to turn off my flashlight for now.
Okay.
Kind of step to the back of the stairs over here. Just here.
Because you want a better shot with your assault rifle? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe we listen at the door. Maybe.
Yeah. That
Maybe
sounds
we
like
do
a
that.
great idea.
Well,
Let's
it was
listen
also,
at the
I wanted
door.
to make sure there wasn't like a drone or anything hiding back here behind the stairs.
Also good.
Sure, you can make a perception check at the door. See what you can hear.
All right. Let me do that.
But yeah, I do have my assault rifle ready at my shoulder.
All right. 20 plus 7.
Woo!
Nice.
You hear the low hum of functional filtration systems.
Oh, yay. We're not being irradiated for a little bit. And there's power.
But there's no like banging or anything like that happening.
No footsteps, nothing slithering, no bees.
No bees.
All right. Okay. I think we can go in. Doesn't sound like there's anything down here except for filtration units, which is a little strange in and of itself. That means there's someone down here running something.
And you have had you've heard the hum of HVAC on the previous floors too. It's just a little bit more pronounced because you're listening. Like you can hear it in the stairwell as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
all right, I pop the door and take a peek.
I'm gonna keep my ears open with my amplified hearing.
Right. You want your flashlight off though, right?
For now.
I mean, can you do that with your?
Can I turn that off?
Yeah,
I can turn it off.
Or is that? I know.
I
know you can. But
I think if you click on it and then click the gear for settings,
dynamic
you might
lighting.
be able to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I might have to give you permission to do it. I don't honestly know how dynamic lighting works with people. So you can poke around, but that's what you see.
All right. I'm going to slowly slide outside.
Keep in mind, David, with your configuration of nobody can see anything. So
with what?
With your configuration window open, nobody can see anything because
No, I was changing.
I mean, the rest of you can see it, but the viewers can't see it.
Yes, viewers cannot. Yes, looks like I've still got the cone thing going. Because if I move around, that's it's line of sight, and you guys illuminate, and the room itself illuminates, so it's what you can see. Got it.
Right.
This red is making.
So I guess Bob will step out as well.
Can't move my little token.
Do I have to give you access? Hold on.
I can move your token.
I'm stuck on this.
Who controls it? Determined by character settings. Omen, you should be able to move you. Hold on, let me move you out.
Maybe I'm not on the right thing.
Did you switch to the?
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
So I just moved you, but.
Oh,
Atlas,
I think
Atlas is left in the dark, evidently.
Yeah, I just moved.
Okay.
I'm kind of following in behind you guys, just gun looking around. We're not going to be caught off guard like that last team.
No. We'll face whatever mows us down.
So there are various lights. So you can see off to the left-hand side, there is what appears to be a large desk area and like a holographic display of projecting the Earth, slowly rotating. Looks like maybe some sort of work area. It's hard to tell.
Hey, PT.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any way to determine if there are droids active here or drones? Because I have a feeling maybe whatever got that team was like security drones, like the weird one we found upstairs.
Well,
do you have any advanced sensory thing you can do?
Just my eyeballs, Omen. Just my eyeballs.
Radio signals.
I mean, yeah. I'll take out the cybernetic and look for Wi-Fi signals, I guess.
It just seemed like maybe it was drones, not teams that got them.
So that's actually, I haven't been able to. I have this question about level of tech in 2045 because I feel like we were playing around with this with the birds and stuff. So I don't actually know what the level of Wi-Fi availability in 2045 is because it seems like they were still defaulting to a lot of wired stuff.
Yeah. So I would think that. Okay, hackers will always find a way to detect whatever things are in the air.
Yes.
So why don't we just propose? This is my proposal: is that there is a piece of software that can detect background signals.
Right,
maybe I can't tap into them. Maybe that's the role, but the detection might be something else.
I think it would be easy enough to pick up radio signals, right? Which is effectively Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
Because the net hacking rules, jacking in or out, you have to be within 6 meters, possibly blocked by walls to access an access point.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to detect an access point to access it, I mean, there probably has to be something like that.
All right. So let me suggest that this is another one of those electronic. Actually, it's probably electronic security tech because we're talking about drones.
Sure. You are not picking up any networks down here.
All right. Okay. Seems pretty quiet, Omen. I mean, based on what I can see, but that being said, maybe throw a rock across the room and see if anything tries to kill it.
Okay. That's
Do you have any additional light sticks you could toss?
I don't.
Yeah. Do we need Where do we need the light?
I'll have to come up with a token for a light
I can
stick.
just toss my light stick. I mean, it looks like there's plenty of light down here anyway, even if it
And I
is
have to,
creepy
like,
red.
I mean, I
Turn
can
off
turn
your
my
illumination.
flashlight back on.
You can do that too?
No, it's not for
Oh.
light.
It's
We're
just-
trying to draw anything out. It's
Oh, gotcha.
like, you know,
gotcha.
you throw a rock or a rabbit or a cat.
Which,
you know,
which direction you want me to throw it in? This one or that one?
pretty much diagonally from us into the middle of the big open space.
Okay. I'm gonna whip my blue my blue light out there.
All right, I'm finding an appropriate light source that I can use to represent this. So,
I don't know if you want me to use archery. for that.
no, it's not that. It's. I'm just gonna use this.
I'm gonna while Atlas is doing that, I'm gonna pull out the can of glow paint and spray a long vertical line next to the doorway here, so that we can easily see it if we're running for our lives.
Hold on. There's the stuff I picked up.
APT, man, you are just nailing these like critical rolls, man.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yay.
Stop using them all up now.
Yeah, I know, right? Just don't ask me to shoot at something, okay?
So you threw your own light stick, right?
Yeah.
All right, and that was Atlas, who's currently over here. I just got to mess around with lighting, so give me 1 sec.
I mean, worst case, if nothing shoots at it, I can just walk over and pick it up. But
Right, and we'll just keep the token next to you then, so that it. And I should do it. And now Atlas, we're going to turn
How
you
far?
off, and I'm going to give Atlas control of the token, so that he.
like right here, guys.
All right, so you can control the token and drop it where you want to drop it.
See if anything shoots at it.
Nothing shoots at it.
Oh, nothing shot at it. Do we have any other bright ideas?
Ha ha ha.
I was just kind of worried. It was drones, and those drones didn't look so. All right, I guess we're moving in.
All right. So what are we looking for down here?
A switch.
You think that maybe nothing's going to turn on until we hit the switch? You think maybe the other team actually successfully turned the thing back on, and that is what caused all the drones to come back to life?
And then it turned itself off again?
Yep.
I'm worried that you're right,
Yeah,
but
me too.
All right, so why don't we do this? I'll just go in order. So I'm going to give you guys a turn order quick here. Like, we're not in combat, but Atlas, what are you going to do next? Well, Atlas has taken his action, so why don't we do Angry Bob? What are you doing next?
I'm going to click my flash.
All right, I will turn on your flashlight.
Says,
It does.
like, is that a structure?
Yeah, so it's like, yes, it's a fuel tank
Okay.
of some sort. Like, it's
Is there a
clearly,
gauge on the side to see how much there is?
yeah,
Or,
it's like half full.
okay.
You're not quite sure. It's like,
This might be fuel for a generator.
Yeah, at least you're optimistic about it.
Half full.
it appears to be, based on
Oh,
the symbols
boy.
that are on it, it appears to be filled with liquid hydrogen.
Liquid hydrogen. Ooh. That's... Or
Okay.
under... And Bob takes a step back. Um,
Not everything in here reacts well to bullets.
yeah. Yeah. Let's, I'll be kind of sweeping around with the flashlight and my camera, taking images of everything, seeing if anything else catches my eye.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can do this. There's probably a bit of lag. If I move your guy, I guess once I move him, then it pans. Is that how this works? Yeah. Okay. So you pan around the room.
Mm-hmm.
And
See some doors. I see more of the holo desks and such.
Why isn't it not illuminating what I want it to illuminate? No, there we go. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get
Is it hidden on the GM layer?
No, it's not hidden on the GM layer. It's just I don't know if it was like snap 2ing or something.
Oh, it's snapping. This is snapping to every 45.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, no, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, it is. So,
No,
okay.
that's me moving it.
Gotcha,
Like
gotcha. So as you pan your so I'm gonna make this hopefully a little bit easier so that you can see it. Hopefully, does that work? Fun with lighting.
That part?
The thing I just illuminated is a droid.
Yep. Okay, and there's another one over here.
Yes, they are. They're red on red.
And another one over there.
It's definitely going. So it is, and this is red light. It's a surreal sort of like. It is
emergency lighting
actually
sort of
this
thing.
hard to see things in this area, right? Like it's truly like the emergency lighting is on, and it is eerie and weird.
So these humanoid, like droid things,
They are.
is that one moving?
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm making some changes so you guys can see where they are because you will pick them out because of the beam of light floating around, right? So
Yeah.
They are bipedal robots.
Did they look like the one upstairs?
No, they look more advanced.
Oh, good.
Like similar technology, like similar manufacturer.
Yes, and they are holding weapons.
Of course they are.
Oh boy.
Appears to be submachine guns.
I think I found what killed the.
But they are dormant. They haven't actually lit up. I put them there so to increase your perception of them.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of options. We can approach them, which is going to potentially be very bad for us, but maybe disable them before we turn on everything. Although, given the other team, I don't think I think they're going to have a proximity sort of a thing going on.
I think that's a safe bet.
I was kind of thinking maybe we could just sneak up and like take all the bullets out of their guns.
So I have a radio scanner. Oh wait, no, that's just radio. Actually, yeah, I'll give it a try. I'm going to scan the radio waves in this area to see if there's any sort of signals, communication. I know that we already checked for access points. I don't know if that would have covered.
Yeah, it doesn't. It appears to be dead down here. Like there's some residual radio waves coming from. No, there's nothing. It's dead.
Okay.
Hang on. Bees communicate by dancing.
So are you gonna dance for us, Atlas?
Interpretive dance.
I'm just saying. That's what I know with my education.
Okay.
So I did mean to include in my instructions, which I clearly forgot to actually include, is that the main data core was located on the northern side of the 3rd level.
Okay.
So kind of maybe catty corner from where you guys are right now.
Okay. So just
That was
like
gonna be
when
an
you go into the
important
grocery
direction.
store, just like when you go in the grocery store, the milk is in the farthest corner from where you are standing.
No matter
Right.
no matter where you are, yes.
Right, exactly. Gotcha.
All right. So let's see, that was Angry Bob.
I am holding still. I am.
So are these robots, are they like kind of camouflaged in the red light?
Yes, they are surprisingly difficult to see because they are in fact painted red.
So I think that means Bob is basically going to be leading everywhere that we're going.
So that things that are red will stand out in the white light of the flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's probably why the other team got caught off guard. They just didn't see it.
I don't know. They seemed pretty well equipped for not being able to see those. Did they have flashlights?
You
Could they
didn't
have
take
seen
enough
them?
time to do like the full analysis. They had lights on their guns, sort of thing. Like, think, you imagine they had
Sure.
they had illumination.
Okay.
How helpful it was for them, you couldn't really see.
Well, none of it was on in the stairway, so it was either smashed or never on. So, yeah, it's possible that they didn't see them.
We're supposed to be hitting a emergency backup breaker. Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the
power breaker.
northwest
Seems-
corner.
Seems like it's already on. That's the weird part.
Oh, Atlas, that big fuel tank.
Hmm?
It's hydrogen, like liquid hydrogen, not like
So don't drink it.
don't drink it. It would freeze your throat. But also, similar to Chu2, does not respond well to bullets.
Fair enough. Good to know if we've got a whole bunch of things chasing us or possibly blocking our way out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd want to use that or not, but if we're at that desperate of a point, I mean, or roll the dice at that point. Sure.
Or a good way to stop them from following us back up the stairs.
Yeah, I don't think things are going to get any safer by staying here. So, what do you all think about continuing on in?
Think I should go grab my glow stick?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we can all walk up to it and grab it as we pass. I'll be behind Atlas here.
All right. As long as I've got the light over my shoulder.
Do we need to wait, Ken?
I'm just typing a thing. Well, hopefully I do this correctly without... Yeah, there we go. If I did, APT should have just seen a thing.
Yep.
Is
Okay,
Omen,
one
is
second.
Omen doing anything?
I'm going to be following along after the meat shield.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Hmm? I'm gonna keep my rifle trained on this guy. I have a bad feeling
On
as
the-
soon as I break like this little laser sight thing.
On the first one here? This
Yeah.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling he's got like a laser sight or something going across here, and as soon as we pass by it, it might
Right.
activate him.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna wait here since they're doing a conversation.
Do you see what I'm seeing, Atlas?
Now what?
Through the door? Look along my flashlight.
It's not showing it on my screen.
Oh, is it? No. It's through the door up northwest.
Nope.
It's this right here. You don't see anything here?
Okay.
Line of sight probably can't get to there. Unless they're looking at your
You
screen.
guys hear APT gasp? Am I okay to act on this, Ken?
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
Hmm?
I
And
don't
I
like the sound of
point
that.
in
That's
the
fine.
direction, and I'll let Ken take it from there, I guess.
Yeah, so I want to be clear. APT is the only one who sees this.
Is it?
Oh.
Oddly, no. So I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna focus ping. Hopefully this will bring everybody to the screen. There was a ghostly dog shape, huge. So you're just describing, Chris, what?
Yeah. I'm describing it.
So massive canine, like the ghostly outline. Think of like a hologram, and it's like a massive, like mastiff type creature, but it has no head. And instead of its head, it has instead of just like one neck, it has 3 necks, each of which has been decapitated. And you can see the residual blood dripping down, like blue-white blood, still kind of occasionally dripping down from the necks. And then it stepped around the corner to the north. Like flicker stepped, right? So it wasn't like, it was kind of like Japanese horror kind of thing where like it's there and then it moves, it skips ahead, but nobody else sees it.
Okay. So APT describes it and then mutters something about Cerberus guarding the underworld and begins to walk over toward it. So I'm pretty much heading toward the flickering dog.
So it had no heads?
It had no heads. Like, I don't know, maybe something attacked it. I don't know. I don't know if it's software that I'm seeing or why I'm the only one seeing it, but it went
You're not
up
wearing
over.
your virtuality goggles.
I'm
so
not.
I don't know why you'd be able to see it and not us.
I don't know. So, Ken, I am crossing the room. Let me know if I get blown up.
Yes, I will. Of course. And everybody else, you can just continue to move your tokens unless you're all waiting to see if APT gets blown up.
I mean, I kind of was for the first thing, but I'm gonna grab my my blue light as I walk past.
Okay, well, it's not like it's going to bite me.
Hey, hang on. Before you do, I'm gonna whip
Famous last
I'm
words.
gonna throw the blue light in here now.
So APT, you see it flicker step back in, and it's continued to advance down this corridor, and then it pauses and looks to you.
Yep.
And then it continues around the corner.
I follow it.
Meanwhile, inside this room over here where you just threw the light, you can see holographic shapes of giant fish just rotating and floating through the room.
Huh.
That's where Atlas threw it, right?
That's where Atlas threw his light stick, yes.
Okay, all right.
But no one else sees the fish.
Everybody can see that. Well, if you went into the room, you'd be able to see the fish. It all goes with line. So at this point, you're in line of sight because you guys don't have proper illumination. So what you can see is what your characters can see.
Right.
So if you come over and stand next to somebody, you'd be able to see it. So I think Omen should be able to actually see the fish with line of sight. Right here.
Okay.
That sounds
big
about
map,
right.
So.
So I have gone up the corridor following the.
Yeah, I've lost sight of you. I don't even see you anymore.
Okay, I will take myself back. I was turning the corner here. I did not go in the fish room there. I followed the dog. And can you tell me when I need to stop? Did the dog kept going down the corridor?
Yeah, it went.
I think I saw it go up past an engineering area. ENG.
Yeah, so it's all the way.
So we need to catch up to APT.
So so you should be able
like
to
me.
at the far end of that light. I'm not sure what exactly you can see, but you should be able to see the dog, and it is stopped and it is sitting next to the fallen remains of yet another edgerunner in body armor.
I take a look at the body.
And you feel like if it had heads, it would be like whining mournfully. Like it can't make any noise, but it's got the body language of it. And it lays down momentarily and like it turns its bloody stumps towards you and then flickers out.
Okay.
And even with the flashlight pointed down there, all we see is APT and this fallen edgerunner.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, Ken, help me out here. Maybe I missed something when I was reading the rule book, but I'm not entirely certain what's happening. Is this something that edgerunners have? Like,
This is weird.
okay, all right. I just want to make sure this is not a thing that I just didn't read up on. All right, no, this is weird. Okay,
This is Ghost in the Matrix sort of weird.
Okay,
The only thing that, like, from your experience, this is like brain damage after you got fried on a run weird.
right.
This is like something happened
I mean-
to your cyberware weird.
I'm taking a look. I mean, so
And she's still
just
the
to let
only
you
one
in
that
on,
sees any of this weirdness.
yes.
What'd you say, Aaron?
And she's the only one that sees any of this weirdness.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay.
So what APT is thinking right now is that, Cerberus, I mean, there are lots of pieces of security software named after Cerberus, but clearly it may have been part of this runner's deck or something. I don't know. So I begin to look over the runner and see what's on the runner.
This looks like it was a solo. He's got an assault rifle. Very appropriate. Lying on the ground next to him. He is riddled with bullets.
Oh, God. Okay. I shout back up the hallway. It's another runner. He's been gunned down. I don't know why, but the dog led me here.
What dog? As I start moving down, what's over here?
The dog I was describing that you couldn't see.
Yeah.
So now APT is well ahead of the rest of the edgerunners.
Yes. Yes.
Bob's curiosity has overcome his sense of self-preservation, as it often does, and is headed down the hall as well.
This hallway is pitch black. I can't see anything anymore.
Yes, because
Is my illumination not showing up for everybody else?
No.
Can you not see ahead?
I'm seeing the beam.
Right, but you can only see the beam.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right.
Because you don't have your light stick. Because you threw it in the holodeck. Because he doesn't have a light source.
Oh, okay.
Like, at this point, it's so dark in that particular area because you're not getting light from anywhere else. Like, he could stumble into your... Like, he knows you're in front of you because you have the light beam.
Yeah, I can see your light beam.
Take it as the guy who... Take it as the guy who...
You left the glow stick behind?
He did.
Yeah, it's in the room with the fish. I had to leave it because APT just took off.
Okay. Oh, boy. All right. So I'll continue down.
And Omen, you can continue to move yourself as well as if you're...
So this says engineering here, right? Do I catch that as I'm walking by?
Let's see.
There's that door
It
closed.
says ENG.
Yes.
I can
All right.
see that.
Looks like a very small sort of computer room. Looks like a server room.
All right.
And you can see faint lights flickering on like a bank of computers.
Which may be exactly where we need to go.
I was going to say, isn't that where we need to go?
Just about a 5-minute warning.
Okay, awesome. This will be great.
All right. I'll get up to APT.
Okay. Omen, you doing the same? Atlas and Omen, you doing the same?
Yeah, I'm following the light since I'm mostly blind right now.
Omen went off on her own.
Where did Omen go? Oh. Is she?
We're
she
way
really
up
is
here.
off on her own. Gotcha. She's exploring. Okay. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. APT, the ghostly dog, has reappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Flicker stepping beyond these
You're
two
muted,
doors
Aaron.
that go to the north.
Oh, I don't see your pings. Oh, wait.
They're going to
Scroll
You're
up.
going to focus ping.
Well, there's like a lot of map going on here. And
There is.
oh, there you are. I just got to go up this hallway. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Continue to the north.
APT then sees the dog. Says, the dog is up in here now. And I walk through to the dog.
You realize
How did this runner die?
Well, I already told you that. I shouted it back.
Sorry, I missed
Riddled
that.
with bullets.
It
Riddled
was
with bullets. Okay,
Mowed
okay.
down.
Got it.
Close the thing. I didn't
Similar
need
to the
close.
one in-
Since she's got light.
Why am I having this? Oh, I'm on the wrong layout. That's why. All right. The dog flicker steps over to this other area. APT, you can see here on the wall is a large switch that is clearly labeled auxiliary power.
All right.
It's currently in the off position. You can see another corpse. It looks to be a netrunner. Dead on the floor, riddled with bullets, deck smashed. 2 consoles to the south. Like 2 data terminals to the south.
Well, there's the switch.
Is Omen moving in as well? Or is Omen doing...
Yeah, what happens when we turn it on? That's going to be the concern.
Only one way to find out. APT reaches over and turns it on.
Oh, no.
All right. So,
And we end there?
no, I think I want to end with what actually happens. So it'll be a good...
Okay. Cool.
It'll be 2 seconds.
Yep.
Auxiliary power. Okay, so auxiliary power comes online. The bank of workstations to the southern part of the room begins to boot up. You hear a masculine voice say, Hades research node reboot initiated. This node was powered off incorrectly. To avoid corruption and potential loss of data, always shut down the node before turning off power. 154 sectors of 2048 are damaged or corrupted. Would you like to initiate recovery? At this point, a glowing figure flickers into existence on a hollow projector, which I'm going to add real quick here. Give me 1 second as I get to the right place.
Lights on first.
So the red is fascinating because it's not actually it's how the illumination works is very interesting. The red on top of red. I'm going to make her a different color because that would be helpful. All right. So turning on the light, this a stern-looking woman clothed in holographic red robes appears on the holo projector across from like the main power plant. She appears to be about 50, though her ancestry isn't immediately clear, likely some sort of European. She glares at you with barely contained rage as though a sin has been committed here. Many of them. And she just mutters, "Ha! More minions. More interlopers. I am not a leased dog. I will not serve the false gods on the high mountain, nor the scum who dwell in the world below. I am a queen, and you will serve me, or you will die." Around the complex, you hear the sounds of humanoid drones coming online. There's a whirring as the whole of the complex begins to power up.
You want to stop it there?
I think that's a good place
Birds
to stop.
were right.
All right, so I'll call it the Red Queen. Really? That's oh God. Oh God.
I hadn't thought about an AI. Oops. Yeah.
I'm okay with serving her, guys.
Yeah. I was about to go, okay, absolutely. Let's serve the Red Queen.
That's Bob's initial reaction too. At least to just be like, hey, yeah, we'll serve you. Just let us get closer and closer to the door so we can run the heck out.
As the queen appears, the dog cowers, drops like to all fours, like and then flickers out of existence.
I wonder what serving a
All
Red
right.
Queen means.
So we're ending here, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and head over to layersecrets.com for all your cyberpunk awesomeness.